Welcome once again. So we want to provide solution to the last question, but this time around I'm going to make use of the two methods. So we can see from the first question up to this question, only one method was used, and that is what? The root method. So I want to engage both what? The root method as well as the other method that we have. So in this case, when we look at this question, we can see there is a problem. The problem we have is what? We have a negative power, and whenever a negative sign comes in front of our power, that is the first thing that has to do what? To be adjusted. So to remove this thing is to think of it in two ways. It depends on whether our base is what? A whole number or a fraction. If it is the case whereby our base is what? A whole number, then removing this negative sign means we are going to find the inverse of what? Everything we have here. So that is how negative sign will be removed in the case of what? A whole number. But instead of what? A fraction. When our base is fraction, removing this negative sign becomes very simple. So the best way to do it is what? We just interchange the position of what? Both the numerator as well as the denominator. That is, numerator now becomes the denominator and the denominator becomes the denominator. So in that case, once that is done, the negative sign what? Will automatically disappear. So that's the first step to this solution. So that becomes 81/16 raised to power 3/4. Remember, a mere changing of position here will remove what? The negative sign here. So that is done. And now is to decide on the method we are to report. I'll first of all make use of what? Of my fractional, of my root method. So in that case, I'm going to do what first? I'm going to draw the roots like this. What is my base? 81/16 is going to what? Reside, or is going to be inside the root. The numerator of the power comes into this place, while the denominator of the power 4 comes into this place. Then the next thing is we interpret what we have here. The meaning of this is one number repeats itself 4 times. That is, one number multiply itself repeatedly 4 times like that to produce 81. So if you are very conversant, if you have been solving as many questions as possible, then in indices, so you won't have any challenges, so you automatically know the number is what? 3. Also for the denominator, that is this 16, one number repeats itself 4 times to produce the value of what? 16. Such a number is 2. Then everything is to power 3. And the meaning of what we have here is that what? This number we have inside the bracket should be repeated how many times? 3 times, which means 3/2 times 3/2 times 3/2. And that gives 3 times 3, 9, 9 times 3, 27. That is 27/2 times 2 times 2. That is what? That is 8. And to get our final answer, it's not proper we leave it like this, because this is the case of what? An improper fraction. So to get our final answer, so I will ask myself a question. How many 8 can I get in 27? I know that is 3, Abby. 8 times 3 is 24. Remaining 3/8. So the solution to that is going to be 3/3/8 when we apply or when we adopt what? The root method. Alternatively, I want to make use of the other method that we have. So let me have my question. I have 16/81 raised to power minus 3/4. The first thing I'm going to do is to eradicate the negative sign. And remember, in case of a fractional base, removing the negative sign means what? Denominator changes to numerator and numerator changes to denominator. With that, minus sign cancels out. We are left with what? The power of 3/4. Then the next thing is we are going to interpret each of these numbers separately. Now the denominator is what enables us to know what to do here. So in this case, what we want to do is to rewrite 81 in another form. And it is this form that will tell us how that is going to be done. This one is telling us that one number repeats itself 4 times that produces 81. We know such a number is 3. So that is 3/4. The same thing for 16. What is that number that repeats itself 4 times to produce the value of 16? So I have it as 2/4. Then the power I have outside, which is equal to, I can see the power of 4 is there, power of 4 is there. I can combine the 4. So that becomes 3/2 raised to power 4. Then the initial power I have outside, 3/4. So this 4 can cancel this 4. We will now be left with what? 3/2 raised to power 3. And remember, the meaning of 3/2 raised to power 3 means 3/2 times 3/2 that is 3 over 2. So when we multiply the numerator, we get 27. When the denominator is multiplied, we have 8. But the answer cannot be left in this pattern. All because this is case of what? Improper fraction. So when we cut it as it's supposed to be, the answer is going to give is 3 over 8. And when you compare the answer to that of the answer here, we are going to observe that what? The same result, the same value is gotten. So in the next video, we also try as much as possible to still solve more questions. We still solve more questions. Then thereafter that, we now open up what? The evaluation session, whereby you will also have the chance to do what? To solve your questions. So thanks for joining the class.